to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to tonight's planning board meeting for the town of Arundequoit. In case there's an emergency, please exit to your left, and please take the stairs, do not take the elevator. Tonight, we will call the cases in the order that they are on the agenda, and we do have public hearings. In addition, if you do come to the podium to speak, please state your name and your address for anybody who's coming to the podium and speaking. Please address all your comments to the board. And with that, can we call the first case? Oh, wait a minute, let me also start. I want to welcome three new members of the planning board, Ms. Shelley Hafner, Mr. Dan Yanish, and Mr. David Russell. Welcome. Okay. Go ahead.
Our first item is case number PB 2023-12-1, request by MRB Group acting as agent for St. Cateri Tekakwitha Parish for revised site plan approval to amend a previously approved site plan regarding the demolition of a 1.5-story building to be used for parking on premises 2732 Culver Road in an R5 residential district.
Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Is this on?
Green light?
Red light on it?
Yes, it should be on.
Okay. My name is Paul Schreiner from MRB Group, engineers for St. Cateri.
Tekakwitha.
Sorry. I am not good at saying that. On behalf of the parish, we're here for site plan approval for construction of a parking facility adjacent to St. Cecilia Church. We came to you and presented in December 18th, 2023. We came back with some comments. We ended up making the changes and submitting plans according to everyone's comments. And I think you've got a copy of my January 10th letter outlining all those changes. As you said, we're here for site plan approval, hopefully preliminary and final site plan approval. The only other permit we're going to have to get is the county permit for work along Culver Road to remove one curb cut, which currently exists just south of the old A-frame rectory building. And that will be coming out.
It's Mr. Schreiner, right?
Yes, correct.
Could you please, for the benefit of the public, just walk through, highlight the things that were asked for you to look at, and just quickly state what you've done?
What we have in the letter here?
Yeah.
Okay. The parking area was reconfigured so that the south portion of the new parking lot is going to be the same as the south edge of the parking lot for the...
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. Could we please make sure that we're speaking directly into mics for everybody who's going to speak tonight? And if we need additional ones that are on the table, press the button on the back of the handheld buttons.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Could you double check his mic? Did she already leave?
It's definitely not working.
Does that work? Mine isn't working?
No, I can tell you it's not.
If it,
On? Red light is on?
It's on, but let's see this one.
Okay, that one? Test. Does that go on?
I can't tell.
It's lit up, correct?
Yeah, it's blue.
Okay.
Okay. Starting again. We're aligning the southerly limits of the proposed parking lot to be the same as the Episcopal Apartments project, which is currently under construction, which I'm sure you've all seen. We've aligned that parking lot and modified some of the spaces, and we have a net increase of about 23 spaces. We've added snow storage on the east, west, and south edges of the proposed parking. We've shown the existing lighting that's currently on the site. There's two overhead Cobra head type area lights, and there are two lights which are mounted on the building at the two entrances. I want to say on the westerly face of the administration portion of St. Cecilia's. The proposed lighting installations for the Episcopal Apartments project have also been added on the plan. The two existing apple trees were placed back on the plan. Those two trees are to remain, and as requested by the board. The service laterals to serving the former rectory building have been added to the plan and are generally capped and abandoned in place. We also showed the new gas service to the church. That the original gas service ran through the rectory building, and we've added a tally on the first sheet 0.0, which kind of summarizes the parking for the project, and that's it.
Okay, and you're gonna do the construction in concert with the Episcopal when they're doing their parking lots?
Yes, the parish is they've signed an agreement with Pike Construction, who is doing the work on the apartment project. So they'll be doing all that work probably during the summer. The parking lot as well as the parking lot for the apartments.
Okay, and thank you for bringing that up. So is the target this summer?
Yes.
June, July, August, or you don't know at this?
They'll probably start late spring, in the spring, so once everything starts to dry up and winter is behind us. So they still got some site work to do, but that was the plan that was communicated to me talking to their construction foreman.
Okay. I'll open it up for questions from anybody else from the board.
Thank you for a lot of the work that you've done on here. And I'm going to go back to the lighting because I'm looking at C5. Is that your lighting plan for us to examine?
C5. Let me just make sure.
Because I don't see it in the other packet.
No, C5 I think is that an overall plan?
Absolutely.
Like,
I'm asking you, it's got lighting schedule listed on it.
is it with the apartment project or?
It's the Episcopal lighting plan.
Yeah, it does say Episcopal
Yes.
Senior Life on it.
Yeah.
Do you have a rendering of the lighting plan for us?
We are not, as we stated early on, we're not providing any more lighting in the parking lot.
Yeah, but I think we had that discussion earlier that this is our chance to make any corrections we feel are necessary on a site plan.
That was never,
That was, you and I had this discussion, I know we did.
no, I know, my interpretation was you wanted to see the lighting that was proposed on the Episcopal site. But we I would say, this proposal for the parking lot didn't include any additional lighting.
Okay, so what I'm seeing on here shows me some spillage off your property, is that correct?
You mind if I take a look at what you're?
Yeah, I mean, this had to come from you guys, I don't know where this came from.
That was for the Episcopal Apartments site, I'm sorry. The light just
So
before,
this is gonna
without the
show-
parking lot.
So you still have spillage then?
We can't build that light right there. The light that's,
Tell me what you can't build means to you, so I understand what you're saying.
this is where the parking lot was going to be constructed,
Right.
right in that area.
Okay, so what are you showing for lights then? Just point to my map right here.
Okay. This is one light that has to be installed for the apartments, which is, let's see, in the southwest,
Okay, so are you
Alright.
putting any lighting in on your piece of
No.
the property?
no,
All right, so there's no lighting.
correct.
Okay, then that's helpful to me. Thank you. I don't know if anybody else understood that to be the case.
Actually, in the workshop, we kind of went through a similar discussion, and he pointed out where he was taking the light pole out.
Right,
And then there, on the building that's going up, he pointed out where those lights are.
yep.
But we didn't discuss the previous lighting plan from Episcopal. But he's not adding any new.
No, and that's, and the light that's showing spillage is gone then?
Yes,
Because I recall that being on the south part of the A-frame.
correct.
All right,
But to that point, we say it's gone, but that was on somebody else's site map, correct?
Correct. That was in the site development plan for the apartments.
Right, so I guess I'll ask staff if that probably has to be followed up on to make sure that's noted for a field change or whatever they're doing. I don't know if it was on their most recent submission when they came back, but if it was, it probably needs to be corrected, but that's not their plan.
Okay, so the most recent plan will supersede at least that section. It'll
Okay.
supersede the old plan, but yes, when they come in for permits, they should have two site plans with them versus having the one site plan with them.
Right.
But yes, you are correct. Whoever is doing the inspection will have to ensure that it meets the original plan, and then for this specific section of the property, that it complies with this site plan, should it be approved.
Any other questions for the
Yeah,
applicant?
I just want to touch back on the landscaping, and you guys may have talked about this at workshop, but can you just walk me through anything you guys are doing as a buffer between the parking lot and Culver Road?
Sure.
And the parking lot and the new building? Building C or whatever they're calling that.
Okay. Well, along Culver Road, we're proposing about a 2 to 2.5 foot high berm.
Right?
And along that, I want to say the street line, we're installing some new trees. We're installing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees along that line. It's shown on the sheet C 3.0.
And how many did you say you're installing? 6 total?
6 total.
Okay. And then what's going to be covering the rest of that berm?
Yeah, it's going to be lawn.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you talking me through that. Thank you. And anything in between on the east elevation then of the parking lot?
There'll also be lawn. There's the more towards the, closer to the building will be that sidewalk, and they have on that site plan for building C, there are also plantings that they have under their site plan to install.
Right, because at one point, my recollection is that that's a driveway through there, right? That we've limited access to? Is that
Right through there
correct?
now, it was the driveway that went around the rectory building. It was like 12 feet wide. And, of course, that goes away with the parking lot.
Yeah, I'll just add with the original site plan, that I believe that this board had requested that there be signage indicating that it be one way.
Right.
Obviously, that's no longer necessary, but yes, there was a single lane drive aisle around the previous A-frame building.
That curb cut's gone, Alan, if that's what your question is.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just reinforcing all this in testimony. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, do we want to do seeker?
So as part of the applicant's application, they submitted a Part 1 environmental assessment form. For anyone who is unfamiliar, the applicant fills out Part 1, and then the board and/or their representative fills out Parts 2 and 3. I've already drafted Part 2 and 3, so if you'd like to read through it, and if you have any adjustments or modifications, we can make
Is
those.
this unlisted?
Yes.
Okay. Any highlights you want to call out? Just to, it looks pretty straightforward to me, so.
Sure. So ultimately, in this draft, Labella determined that based on the information in the EAF, that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. We provided a short narrative in the Part 3 that explained that that there are going to be mitigation measures, including a proposed bioretention area, including an underground detention system that is right along the parking area. Additionally, the board requested that the applicant adjust the parking so that it didn't encroach into the riparian area. And then also, it appears that 2 trees will be removed as part of this project, but then 6 will be added, so it's a net positive.
Any questions? If you need more time to review it, that's fine. Okay. With that, I'm going to open it up for the public hearing. We do have a public hearing on this one, right? Okay. I'll open the public hearing. Anybody who would like to come to the podium and speak on this, please come forward. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. I will entertain a motion for seeker first. Somebody would like to? Mr. Richards, would you like to start?
I can go ahead and do that. This is an unlisted action for seeker.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
And apologize, I'm doing my own sheet tonight, so we'll get there. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any
Should be
nay?
a negative declaration, right?
Yes,
A
board.
negative declaration on it also.
Thank you. So that's Mr. Richards is the first, second, Mr. Burdick. Did you want to add something?
Nope, I have nothing to add. That's correct. Negative declaration.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? None absent, and for the first time in a long time, no vacant. So that's great. It passes. Good luck with the project. Oh, I'm sorry. Now we need a motion for, apologize again, we don't have the paper.
I can go ahead and do that.
Thank you.
On PB 2023-12-0, that we approve the plan as presented.
I got dash, is it dash one or dash zero?
Zero.
Yeah,
Dash 01?
01, sorry.
Okay.
Here, you might want to pass that to me.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Dan? Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? None absent, and for the second time this year, no vacant. It's approved. Good luck, Father. Good luck with the project. Thank you. Okay, so I'll kick off the next one. So regarding the next case, which is PB 2023-01-01, the applicant, RGRTA, has submitted an application for site plan and subdivision approval. However, New York Public Authorities Law, Section 1299-HH states that the RGRTA is specifically exempt from local zoning to the extent that the project involves direct transportation services. This project is for the development of a connection hub which solely involves direct transportation services. Therefore, the project is exempt from local zoning. However, the applicant wanted to present this project to the Town Planning Board for purposes of transparency and to receive recommendations and suggestions given the board's local knowledge of the area. This application was also advertised as a public hearing, so any public input will likewise be taken as suggestion or recommendations to the board, who can then pass these along to the applicant. And we do applaud RGRTA for taking this approach, so anyone who would like to approach the podium, we'll follow the same decorum that we normally do, but probably in a much more relaxed nature. But please state your name and address and so forth.
Good evening. I'm David Velasquez, the Director of Engineering at Regional Transit Service in Rochester, New York. So we'll be presenting this application tonight, and I appreciate your summary tonight as well. As the board knows or may not know, we've been operating at our current location on Hudson Avenue for, it's my understanding, over 20 to 30 years. We did some improvements there probably 4 or 5 years ago to put additional shelters there and make some better connections up there. Subsequent to that time, the landowner there asked us to vacate the premises. So in the interim, we found this other location in front of the life storage facility, and we are proceeding with designing that and hopefully constructing that in the near future. I have here with me tonight Andy Hart and Eric Shaw from Colliers Engineering. They're the engineers on the project for us. We also have John Mancuso as our counsel. I guess I'll ask Andy to kind of go through the comments that we received last time and how we're addressing them. And as you said, we look forward to hearing any comments from the public, and we definitely will take them into account as we move forward. But I think you'll see most of the comments you did give us, we plan on addressing.
Okay, are you going to address any of the changes you made since the last time?
Yeah, we can do that. We're prepared to do that.
That would be helpful, I think, to start with that, just so
Okay.
we know where we left off.
So we talked a little bit about the sidewalk cleaning of the existing sidewalk that's on the north side of Summit Federal Credit Union. So RGRTA has agreed to try to work out an arrangement with them to make sure that that sidewalk is cleared in the wintertime. So we'll go ahead and do that as part of the project. We also talked about the monument sign. Should any changes to the monument sign out front be requested by Life Storage, they would have to come in front of the board or prepare an application to make that change. At this moment, we don't know of the exact change, but we've told them that if they want to make a change to the sign, they need to come in front of the town and get it. There was discussion about directional signage to try to get folks to understand where the life storage is in reference to the bus connection hub. So we did add directional signage as you drive in from both the north and the south. So there'll be directional, they're like traffic signs basically, pointing people towards the bus area and towards life storage. So we did add those to the drawings. Also, we talked about a crosswalk between Wegmans and the connection hub sidewalk to the north. So we did show a crosswalk at that existing curb cut that's there, and pedestrian signage as the traffic approaches, so showing them that there's a crosswalk there. So we added those to the drawings as well. We talked a little bit about a potential crossing or a pedestrian crossing at the south entrance and adding a light there, a traffic light. Obviously, at this time, we're not proposing a traffic light there. And it's important to note, though, that there's also a bus stop on that east, as you head north, on the east side of Hudson Ave. So somebody who needs to get across the street could take the bus there. They don't need to cross the street to the connection hub. And I think the last item was public art on the mural on the wall, the sound wall to the south, and our GRTA is amendable to that, and we can look at a possible program to be able to do that, so.
And I apologize, when you mentioned the sidewalk, did you mention, we were concerned that it hadn't been used in quite a while, probably? And is it going to be plowed? Who's going to maintain that? Did you mention that in the very beginning?
Yes, the
Yeah, so
sidewalk for
I
Summit
missed it.
Federal Credit Union?
Right.
Yes, yes.
So are you going to work it out with the Summit?
Yeah, we'll work an agreement with them to be sure that that sidewalk's plowed.
Okay.
Either our staff will do it, or someone we hire will hopefully do that.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
I'm just going to make one comment, and I don't know how we approach this because it's private property. There used to be a stop sign as you were heading south on that little road in between the banks and what used to be Chase Pitkin. There was a stop sign right there that at some point mysteriously disappeared, but it actually controlled the traffic a little bit because people would at least slow down for it. I don't know if that can be replaced or what happened to it, and as I said, I know it's private property, so
Is this
And that's,
between both banks you're talking about?
it was
North and
the
south?
entry, the southernmost entrance to that plaza itself. It is also an entrance and an exit right there. It was as you were approaching before you turned to go head toward Hudson, there used to be a stop sign right there.
Yeah, we
And
can
that
add-
used to be, like I said, some part of the traffic got a little controlled because they would at least slow down thinking that they were being good citizens. I don't know if that could come back, but it may be helpful, especially for people that decide to walk back and forth through that area.
Yeah, we can add that
Yeah, we
stop
can
sign.
add that.
That's not a problem.
Oh, you're great. See, I love it.
And they do have a bike rack, just so you know.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
A world full of yes.
Any other questions? They did quite a bit at the workshop. I did know Mr. DeLoss was going to provide a copy of the public, or he was going to provide a transcript of the public hearing for us, but I didn't get that. I don't know if he did provide it, but
I'll just note that Michelle Nichols sent it out on January 26th via email.
26, this week?
It was last week, and the
Yeah,
meeting
Friday.
adjourned at 6:47.
Does anybody recall,
was the
was there
last thing
anything
I read
special
on
in that? Or I don't remember getting that, so I'll have
It
to
was
go
with
back.
two other attachments.
Okay, I probably opened two, not the third, but was there anything that came out in that public meeting that you would want to talk about that the public brought up?
I don't think there's anything in addition to what we've already talked about tonight, but we're happy to look through it again, absolutely.
Was there any opposition to anything, potentially?
In the transcript from the
Yeah.
public?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was, they did identify some concerns with safety. I don't know what else there was really, but, we've been operating in that plaza for over 30 years. We're not aware of any issues up there. It's in our best interest to keep it safe up there, and we'll continue to do that as we move forward, if any issues come up in the future. I think that was probably the primary concern there. I think there were some current concerns about access, but like Andy said, there's still a bus stop on the east side of Hudson Avenue. The stops on Hudson Avenue will not change, and it's in our interest for our users to cross at the lights. But again, we can't force people to use the existing crosswalks and things like that, but we encourage people to. I mean, it's common all over the city, really. But we certainly want our customers to be safe and have pathways to where they're going. Absolutely.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to open it up for the public hearing. Anybody can come and speak who would like to speak. Would council like to speak? No, that's okay.
Be careful what you ask for.
I know. We'll be here all night. No. With that, I'll close the public hearing. I just want to express thanks to the bus company for going this extra mile to get the input and take the public input, and especially the planning board's input. We really appreciate that. So we're looking forward to a great, successful project.
No, we are too, and again, we want to thank you for your comments. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, the only comment that was attached to those other emails was from HIP,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you guys have worked with them. I know, I've worked with RGRTA for a number of years, so I know how open they really can be. Sorry, Bernie.
Oh, that's great. I just want to express the thanks, because it doesn't happen this way all the time. So we're looking for you to have a successful project.
We are too, and again, we want to thank the town and everybody's input. I mean, we take it in and we do the best we can with our abilities and funding and everything else. And
Sure.
ultimately, we want our customers to be safe and our operations to work.
Great.
And just to give you, I was just talking to Andy about the schedule. What has to happen for us next is we actually get our building permit from the New York State Office of General Services. We don't get it from the town, but of course, we're more than happy to work with the town on, anything comes up at any time. We're more than happy to have them come out and look and see how we're doing, and just to make sure we're, because it's their infrastructure we're going to be hooking up to in some cases or not, but we certainly want to continue to work with the town on the process. And then once we get the permit from the New York State Office of General Services, we put it out to bid ourselves, and then we'll award it at a board meeting and initiate construction. Probably around the June timeframe if things go well at this point. That would
And
be,
can I ask approximately how much will you be investing in the town for this ballpark?
millions, low
Okay.
millions, I would say.
A lot of zeros is what you're saying.
Yeah, yes, it's a big investment for us. It's a big project, and it's really key to our operation. That's really the important thing here. These are some of our busiest routes, and it's just key. It's just a very key operational point for us. So,
It's great.
again,
Looking forward.
just thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you. I just have one staff question. You did give us a seeker form. We don't have to do any of that, right?
If you have a seeker form, it's by accident. So no seeker for this.
We won't charge for the extra work. No problem.
So just to give you, we sent out lead agency letters. I believe we received a letter from the town of Arundecoy. For some reason, I can't think of it in my head right now, but I'm sure we did, that said we would be lead agency. So actually at our I think it was our December board meeting, we took care of seeker for you essentially. So it's all taken care of.
Thank you.
So
If you got extra capacity, we might have more. No.
we don't have extra capacity. So.
Okay.
But again,
Thank you.
I just want to thank everybody again, and the town staff has been great, particularly Michelle, in working with us. And again, if things come up during construction, please just reach out to me, and we'll take care of it.
No problem. And Mr. DeLoss was great in his approach to everything too, just to pass that on to him.
Okay, we'll let him
We
know.
appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any meeting minutes to review, so I believe I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved?
Second?
Second.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.
Could have gone longer.